Good morning. I've had another little bit of a haircut since I last spoke to you. I've got a little bit of a spunky side shave thing going, quite like that at the moment. Today I wanted to talk about why you can't be in external twin flame union if you're not in internal twin flame union, or why you won't perceive of that. I think many times people recognize this person as their twin, and then they're like, why is he or she not choosing me, or why can't I be with them? And it's often not what we think. We think from that vantage point, we think that they're not, like, we're somehow not worthy or not enough, or they're choosing someone else instead of us. But a lot of the time it's that we're not present in ourselves with the divine mirror. So what I mean by that, you'll basically keep bumping up against your present mirror, and if you're not in your divine sort of integration and divine connection, and you're not embodied in that, then your divine counterpart kind of can't be with you even if they wanted to. Or they can, but it'll be a distorted connection. It won't be a harmonious partnership. It'll be sort of more trauma for both of you from that vantage point. It won't be until you're in inner twin flame union, it won't be the relationship that you desire. Like and it's not that you're not identifying the right person. Like, you might be looking and you're like, oh, I know Tom is my twin. Like you just know. But then you're like, well, why am I not with Tom? Why is he not choosing me? Or why can I not be with him just now? And this is why. It's like you need to pull to each other by your inner connection, rather than sort of choose them in the external when you're not aligned with that in the internal. Do you know what I mean? And they will sort of like hold off in a way until the feminine does sort of magnetize him. It's like you will pull the version of the other that's present with you now. And however far away you are from your divine self will be sort of mirrored by however far away the person that you're pulling in is from who you really desire. So like I said, if you're like, oh, I know Tom is my twin, but I'm pulling John. You're pulling John because you're a match to that in the now. You're like, that's who is aligned with your present self. And it's not, I think some people start to then question, oh, well, is Tom not my twin? And it's not that either. Like, you probably have identified the right person as being your twin, but you're not able to be with that or attract that or pull that in until you're holding that same connection on the inside. Like, you need to be with Tom on the inside in order to be able to manifest or magnetize Tom on the outside to be with you in partnership. But then it's like, that's what I said before. It's like, sometimes we are in twin flame union, in fact, but we don't perceive of it as that because we're looking for Tom. We're like, well, I'm not with Tom, so I'm not in twin flame union. No, not necessarily. You might be with a watered down version of Tom that is a match to you now. So yeah, so that's why I sort of really keep pushing to people that you need to heal your relationship to self. Like, because even if that other person sort of ignored the magnetic aspect of this and did choose you, it wouldn't be, like I said, it wouldn't be a harmonious relationship. It would be traumatic to both of you because the inside is not matching. Like, so if you're disowning aspects of your divine self on the inside and you're trying to have an external partnership with your divine self, there's a tug of war there, there's a pulling where the inside doesn't match the outside. So it's actually more productive and more beneficial and more healthier and less traumatic to actually choose and sort of work through whatever you need to work through with whoever is in your reality in the present, than try to be with Tom before you're aligned with Tom. Do you know what I mean? And that's actually what I'm realizing with the experience with who I originally met like 6 years ago. Like, I still don't think I'm wrong there. Like, I still, and I swear we'll do videos with each other one of these days and you'll see, like, it's unmistakable. We look like the other half of each other, like, you know, or the male and female body of the same soul. Like, so and excuse me, I know that I'm not wrong, but over time I'm learning more and more that it's like, yeah, okay, so I'm not wrong, but I can also acknowledge that I wasn't aligned with this person. I wasn't being my true self. I wasn't in alignment with what I wanted on the outside, or what is actually in divine alignment on the outside. Like, I wasn't ready for what I was asking for, if you like. And I think that's where the work is. We have to it's not necessarily you might be wrong and it might not be the person that you've identified, and you might pull in someone else, but it also could be the case where who you recognize as your twin probably is your twin. But until you're a vibrational and an embodiment match to that, it's actually better for you and them to not try to have a partnership, because you're not actually going to be helpful to each other. You're going to hurt each other and have like a chaotic relationship and a traumatic relationship, and put yourself through potentially more pain than necessary. You're actually better. And that's what I'm realizing as well. Like, who I identify as my twin, he's been with someone else someone else, because I don't actually think she's entirely separate from me. And the more that I get back to my true self, I'm actually seeing her sort of integrate with me. Like, I take pictures and I'm like, oh, you kind of look like her today. So I don't actually think who he's been with has been an entirely separate woman. However, who he's been with has been aligned with his present, which in some ways was ahead of me and in some ways was behind me, I think, which has actually been a sort of awakening point for me as well, because for a long time I felt like I was trying to catch up to him, but I actually think I've been more awakened than him in the other side. Like, there's been an aspect of both of us that has been more evolved on the inside than the external other. And it's like we had to bridge that gap so that both energies in self were awakened to the same extent, and then get on the same level or the same frequency as the person that we identify as the divine counterpart. So yeah, so I want you to observe that in your life, that just because you're not with Tom or with Jenny or whatever doesn't necessarily mean that you're not in twin flame union. You might be in twin flame union with the version of them that is aligned with you in this present moment, and as you evolve and embody more of your divine self, you will either start to see them morph into your divine counterpart, or you will magnetize in who you were trying to connect with in the first place, that you identified as your twin. And I'm starting to see that happen more and more for myself. Like, I'm seeing more signs about him around me. I'm seeing more people that are not him but sort of feel like him, or have, like, you know, they might have a physical sort of something about them that reminds me of him, the way that they walk or the way that they hold themselves or something. So I'm sort of seeing him being pulled towards me the more that I hold my divine self, and sort of the more that I'm in that inner twin flame union. So yeah, so I'll be back with another video maybe today or in the next couple of days. If you like my content, please like and subscribe and share if you want, and if there's anything that I can help with, just send me an email to untameyourflame@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment after this video. Have a nice day.